Before the video starts, if you all enjoy this video, then please don't forget to support official Beast Saiyan and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing content. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Keep watching and enjoy the video. Gogeta and Broly's powers had grown so massive that when the two Saiyans clashed, they tore through reality and found themselves in a dimension hidden between space and time. With Broly fueled by rage and Gogeta driven by desperation, they charged at each other, their fists colliding. The impact exploded with devastating force, completely shattering the pocket dimension they were trapped in. Warping back to Earth, a healthy and barely fatigued Gogeta saw Broly lying in a warm, grassy field. Gogeta had won the battle, but little did the fused Saiyan warrior know that after escaping the pocket dimension, he hadn't returned to the time and place he once knew. Gogeta decided to check if the stranded Saiyan mutant still had a pulse. I can't believe it. He's still alive after all of that, Gogeta thought. I can't believe even going Super Saiyan Blue wasn't enough to take him down for good. What is he? I should probably kill him right now, but he's way too good of a fighter to go to waste. If he learned how to control his power, he might end up being the best sparring partner I've ever had. Maybe Beerus and Whis could get a handle on him. Speaking of Whis, where did he go? Where am I? This isn't where I was before. Whis? Bulma? Since he couldn't see or sense Whis or Bulma anywhere, he decided to search for his arch-nemesis, Frieza, instead. What's going on? I can't even sense Frieza's energy. Did he die from the injuries Broly gave him? No, there's no way. He must have left the planet. But this fast? Maybe I just need to concentrate harder. Gogeta focused his ki even more and felt a faint flicker of energy in the distance. I'm sensing two low power levels. They're really far from here, practically hundreds of miles away. No, that can't be right. Is that Raditz? Alright, if that's how he wants to play it. Miles away, Raditz was shouting at Piccolo. Impressive. You actually managed to singe some of my leg hair. But allow me to demonstrate a more effective attack. It's one of my favorites. I call it Double Sunday. Let's see if you can handle this. Suddenly, Raditz's scouter picked up an abnormal power level that absolutely shouldn't have existed on a planet with inhabitants as weak as Earth's. It was a power that instantly struck the fear of the gods into Bardock's eldest son. What kind of enormous energy signature is coming from the east? Is that Kakarot? No, impossible. He can't be that strong. What is going on? It keeps rising. Power level 10,000, 20,000, over 30,000. It's going even higher. Damn it. The scouter then shattered, taking a piece of Raditz's sanity with it, as he couldn't believe what he had just seen. This makes no sense. From what I know, Earth shouldn't be capable of producing anyone with a power level of 30,000. No, it could actually be way higher. The power level was still growing rapidly right when the scouter broke. This is insane. Raditz looked to Piccolo for answers. But Piccolo, who could barely move while feeling Raditz's own absurd power, had no idea why the Saiyan visitor was acting so strangely. You, Green Man, who's out there? What kind of fighter on this planet has such incredible power? Raditz demanded. I don't know what you're talking about, Piccolo replied. You're looking at the strongest fighter Earth has to offer. There's only one other person on this planet who even comes close to my level. And pretty soon, he won't be an issue once I'm through with him. Raditz thought to himself, what? So not even this weakling knows about the power my scouter just picked up. This other person he's talking about who rivals his power must be Kakarot. It has to be. That makes the most sense. But then, if that's the case, who the hell is that powerful fighter over in that direction? Could Zarbon have come here earlier to scout the Earth? Or maybe someone from the Ginyu Force? Whatever the case, I should at least go investigate to be sure. If Zarbon or someone from the Ginyu Force is here, I wouldn't want to create a conflict of interest. I should be able to track the warrior's location based on the data my scouter provided right before it exploded. The power level has to be in that direction. Without even acknowledging Piccolo, Raditz flew off, soaring toward the direction where his scouter had detected the massive energy spike. Piccolo watched the stranger leave, gripped with fear and disbelief. Who the hell was that? And what was he talking about? Another massive power on this planet? Or has he just gone completely insane? Let me see if I can sense anything. What am I sensing? There are two power levels out there, far stronger than anything that should even exist. They're both monstrous. One is dark, furious, and full of rage. The other is calmer, but still frighteningly overwhelming. At the same time, why does it feel like I've encountered something similar before? It feels like I'm sensing the presence of billions of Gokus. Meanwhile, just as Gogeta was contemplating using instant transmission to teleport to the two vaguely familiar power levels, his senses picked up one of the weaker energies, heading straight toward him like a radar. One of the smaller power levels is heading this way, Gogeta noted. Looks like I won't need to use instant transmission to go to them after all. But could it really be Raditz? There's no way. That guy, my brother, is ancient history by now. Gogeta figured the best thing he could do was conserve his energy and wait for this stranger to come to him. As Raditz drew closer, Bardock's eldest son could make out two figures in the distance. Huh? Who are those two? Raditz wondered. They're standing right in the area my scouter picked up that power level from. So, it looks like that power didn't come from anyone in Frieza's army after all. I should have known. That megalomaniac wouldn't even know about a backwater planet like this. But then, who or what am I looking at? One of them seems unconscious, maybe even dead. That guy wearing the vest looks a little familiar. I feel like I've seen him before. If I didn't know any better, I'd think these two were Saiyans. They certainly have the hair for it. Wait, no way. What am I thinking? They can't be Saiyans. There are only 4 of us left. Besides, these guys don't even have tails. Still, if they're even half as strong as my scouter said, I don't see how they could be Earthlings either. Not unless this planet is hiding a few mutants no one knew about. When Raditz landed in front of Gogeta, Gogeta felt like he was literally looking at a ghost, and this was coming from a man made up of 2 beings who had already died several times. Well, it almost looks like you've been waiting for me, whoever you are, Raditz said. No, it can't be. It can't be you. I must be dreaming or something, Gogeta muttered in shock. Raditz was taken aback. He knows me. How? Or maybe he's confusing me for someone else. One thing's for sure though, this guy seems terrified of me. He wouldn't be acting like this if he were as strong as my scouter claimed. That proves it. My scouter must have malfunctioned again, just like it did a couple of weeks back when Nappa and I attacked planet Cornelis. I knew I had nothing to fear. But still, why are my legs shaking a little? It's as if my body knows something about this man that I don't. Nevertheless, a cautious and unsure Raditz approached the situation as carefully as he could. He composed himself, trying to maintain his dominance and control. How do you know me? Tell me, Raditz demanded. Gogeta couldn't even speak for a moment. He stuttered, gasping and breathing hard, trying to collect his thoughts and make sense of an impossible situation. Answer me, damn it! How do you know me? Raditz yelled. Ah, wait a minute. I get it. You must know someone named Kakarot. He must have told you about me. Finally, all Gogeta could manage to say was, You're supposed to be dead. Huh? What? What are you talking about? Who are you? Are you from this planet? And do you know Kakarot? Well, the answer to that is a little complicated, but nowhere near as complicated as this whole situation. Man, I must have hit my head hard during my fight with Broly. But just as Gogeta's brain was spinning in circles, trying to find a logical explanation for these bizarre circumstances, he heard a sound Broly was stirring. He turned around and saw the Berserker Saiyan slowly shifting, indicating he was about to wake up. Oh, great. As if I didn't have enough to deal with. Hopefully, he'll be in a better mood when he wakes up. But before Gogeta could even finish his sentence, he felt it. The sudden deterioration of his body, the slow diffusion of the 2 souls that made up his very being. No, not now. This is the absolute worst time to diffuse. A blinding light erupted, brighter than anything Raditz had ever seen in his life. Raditz had to shield his eyes, wondering if he was under attack. What the hell? Did he just self-destruct? But when the blinding light dimmed, he saw 2 glowing figures standing right where Gogeta had just been. As the glow faded completely, Raditz's jaw dropped. Goku and Vegeta, now separated back into 2 distinct beings, were equally shocked. Crap, I thought we had another couple of minutes left to stay fused. Time really flies, huh, Vegeta? Goku said with a nervous laugh. Raditz stumbled a couple of inches backward. Now he was the one who felt like he was having a fever dream. He gawked at the two familiar faces standing right in front of him, looking like he was on the verge of throwing up. There's no way. I must be seeing things. Have I gone mad? Is that really Kakarot, standing with Prince Vegeta? Vegeta gave Raditz the exact same side-eye he used to give him whenever Goku's brother messed up during their old missions. A look that always violently reminded Raditz of the massive gap in power and status between himself and the Saiyan prince. With a stern glare tinged with slight confusion, Vegeta spoke in a familiar, authoritative voice that sent a chill straight down Raditz's spine. I never thought I'd ever have to see your pitiful face again, Raditz. Raditz muttered in disbelief. No, this can't be. This is a trick, some kind of mind game being played on me, so I dropped my guard. This can't be real. Look at you. You call yourself Vegeta, but you don't even have a tail. You're a fraud. And what kind of armor is that? I've never seen anyone in the Frieza Force wear a uniform with that design. Vegeta smirked coldly. If you're so sure I'm not the real deal, how about you fight me and find out? I'm sure you'll have a much clearer head when I knock it off your shoulders. Raditz swallowed hard. It sounded exactly like something Vegeta would say, he thought frantically. I don't understand. I don't want to believe it. But I think this really is Vegeta. He sounds and acts exactly like him. Besides, if this was really an illusion, what the hell would be the point of all this? Raditz did the unthinkable. He momentarily allowed himself to entertain the idea that everything unfolding before his eyes was actually real. Okay, Raditz cautiously began. Let's say I believe that you are who you say you are. Why and how are you with Kakarot? And what did I just see? How did you and my brother split from the man I was talking to just a few seconds ago? Goku scratched the back of his head. Yeah, well, I know this is going to sound hard to believe, but what you saw was a technique called fusion. It allows two people to combine their powers and their bodies for half an hour. It only lasts for 30 minutes, so after the time is up, the fusion wears off and they split back into two. That's preposterous, Raditz snapped. There's no such thing, and even if there were, why would Vegeta ever fuse with you, Kakarot? And that's assuming you really times are times, my brother. In fact, Vegeta, how did you even get here so fast? You're supposed to be on planet Vorta with Nappa. You couldn't possibly make the trek to Earth that quickly. Those words were exactly what Goku and Vegeta needed to finally connect the dots. Planet Vorta? He thinks Nappa is still alive? No, wait. It can't be. Goku asked urgently. Raditz, what year is it? Raditz scowled. What? Why? What kind of question is that? Just tell me, you twit. What is the damn year? Vegeta barked. His voice carried so much weight that Raditz could practically detect the overwhelming power rolling off him, even without a scouter. It made Raditz feel as small and insignificant as the Earthlings he looked down upon. It's age 761, of course, Raditz answered defensively. Vegeta grunted. Unbelievable. Well, now everything makes sense. To Raditz, it didn't seem like anything would ever make sense again. But Vegeta and Goku had just solved the missing piece to the jigsaw puzzle their reality had become. Why didn't we think of this before? Vegeta muttered. During that fight with Broly, we shattered our way into that other dimension. Something must have shifted while we were in there. If I had to guess, our fight with that freak of nature caused reality to unravel, disrupting or maybe even resetting the flow of time. While Vegeta and Goku were practically experts in the science of time travel at this point, to Raditz, they might as well have been speaking a different language. What are you two talking about? Raditz demanded. I didn't understand a single word. Another dimension? What? Goku sighed. Well, basically, how do I put this? Vegeta and I aren't from this time. I'm pretty sure we traveled here from 20 years in the future. We come from age 780. Raditz had to physically steady himself, struggling to reorient and find his footing back in reality. Every time you damn people open your mouths, things make less and less sense. Is this a sick joke? Time travel isn't possible. There's no such thing. What do you take me for, a fool? Vegeta smirked. Actually, I do. But that's beside the point. Let me guess what brought you to this planet. Almost a year ago, Frieza instructed us to investigate and conquer planet Yardrat. However, we quickly discovered that the inhabitants of that planet had an arsenal of unique abilities that made them difficult to handle. We thought we'd have to leave it to the Ginyu Force. But that's when you came up with the bright idea of recruiting Kakarot, remembering at the last minute that you had a little brother stationed on Earth who might be able to lend a hand. Now think, Raditz. How would I know all of that if I'm not who I say I am? At this point, it wasn't that Raditz didn't believe Vegeta. It was that he didn't times want times two. That is exactly what happened, Raditz thought frantically. So, in that case, maybe I should believe them. But if they're telling the truth and really are from the future, that still doesn't explain why Vegeta and Kakarot are acting so cordial with each other. It's almost as if they're on the same team. And then there's that strange armor Vegeta is wearing. If they are telling the truth, what in the world is going to happen over the next 2 decades? As Raditz asked himself questions, he was almost too afraid to hear the answers to. Vegeta's body suddenly grew tense. Out of the corner of their eyes, he and Goku saw Broly stirring back awake and slowly standing up. A confused, dizzy Broly opened his eyes. Vegeta immediately shifted into a fighting stance, every muscle in his body going into battle mode. Kakarot, maybe we should do that stupid fusion dance while we still can, before this monster fully wakes up. However, when Broly fully opened his eyes and stared at Vegeta, Goku, and Raditz, Goku saw something in him that Vegeta didn't or refused to. Goku saw Broly's kindness and his confusion. He saw a heart that was heavy with sadness, but as pure as the flying Nimbus. Nah, we don't need to fuse, Goku said calmly. He's harmless right now. Besides, don't you sense his power? He still hasn't fully recovered from the beating we gave him. Vegeta honed in on Broly's energy. You're right, he's noticeably weaker right now. But we both saw how fast his power increased when we fought him. With the way his energy skyrockets, we should still stay on guard. I still think we should fuse again just in case he loses control, but I'll wait and see how things play out first. Eventually, Goku managed to convince a reluctant Vegeta to stand down and give Broly a chance to prove he wasn't a threat. Broly looked around, vaguely recognizing Goku and Vegeta, but having absolutely no idea who the third Saiyan, Raditz, was. Where am I? Broly asked quietly. Goku smiled. It's more like times when. Man, you're not going to believe this. Oh, and let me introduce myself properly first. My name's Goku. I'm not sure if you remember, but you kind of lost control back there and tapped into a power so crazy that it surpassed my strongest form. But during our fight, we actually broke through another dimension. And because of that, we ended up traveling back in time. As Goku explained the situation, Broly processed the information with the same disbelief and skepticism that Raditz had shown. After getting over his overwhelming shock, Broly thought out loud. You're right, I can't believe this. I remember some things, but barely. You're saying we're in the past? Are you sure? Are we stuck here? Goku crossed his arms. Well, I hope not. Luckily, I know someone who might be able to tell us what's going on. We should all head over there right now to see her. Want to come with? Vegeta scoffed internally. Obviously, Kakarot is talking about Bulma. The woman created a time machine, after all. Surely, she can get us out of this predicament. He glanced at the hulking Saiyan. I'm just not sure if taking Broly is the wisest decision. He seems calm now, but I can't help feeling we'd be putting her and everyone else in danger by having him tag along. He's too damn unpredictable, and we barely know a thing about him. With Goku, Broly, and Vegeta all deciding to visit Bulma, Raditz was the only one who hadn't made up his mind on what to do next. Goku turned to him. You should come with us too, Raditz. You'll get a lot of the answers you're probably looking for. Plus, in the future, we never really got to know each other. It's kinda messed up that you're the only brother I've ever had, and we ended up being nothing but strangers. This could be a second chance for us. Raditz stared at him. What the hell? Is this man really my brother, Kakarot? Where is his ruthlessness? He sounds and acts nothing like a Saiyan. How can Vegeta even stand to be around him? Still, Raditz knew Kakarot had a point. I should go with them. I can't just leave and tell Nappa and the past Vegeta about this. They'd never believe I ran into future versions of the prince and my brother, especially when I can barely believe it myself. They'd just think I ran away from Earth like a coward. The best thing I can do is follow them and gather more information. Maybe then I can finally make sense of all this. Fine, I'll go with you, Raditz muttered. lead the way. Awesome, Goku beamed. We'll get there a lot quicker if we just use my instant transmission. Your what? Raditz asked. But Goku was too distracted to answer. He closed his eyes, searching for the power signatures of his friends. It didn't take long for him to locate the energies of Krillin, Master Roshi, and even his past self, all gathered together at Kame house. I can't believe it, Goku thought excitedly. They're all in one spot. Actually, I remember this exact day. This is when I took 4-year-old Gohan to Master Roshi's place to introduce him to everyone. Am I actually going to meet a past version of myself? This is crazy. Alright guys, I've locked onto their energy, Goku announced. Broly, Raditz, I'm going to need you two to grab my shoulders. Broly easily complied. Vegeta also grabbed Goku's shoulder, though he clearly hated doing it. The only person who hesitated was Raditz, who still wasn't sure he could trust these three. What are you doing? Raditz asked suspiciously. I'm going to teleport us to where we need to be, Goku replied. Teleport? How? How would you even get an ability like that? I'll explain later, Raditz. Come on, just trust me. It's way faster than flying. Vegeta rolled his eyes. Just touch the idiot's shoulder so we can leave. If you don't like it, you can always fly back to planet Vampa and tell my past self how you bravely ran away from Earth. I'm sure he'd be very understanding. The sarcasm dripping from Vegeta's voice wasn't hard to catch. All things considered, Raditz realized he might actually be better off dealing with this future Vegeta rather than the one waiting for him back on Vampa, a Vegeta who would undoubtedly execute him for abandoning a mission on a planet as pitiful as Earth. Reluctantly, Raditz placed his hand on his brother's free shoulder. In the blink of an eye, much to Raditz's utter disbelief, the four warriors vanished. At Kame house, the scene was exactly as Goku remembered. Here we are, Gohan, past Goku announced cheerily. Bulma and the others greeted them warmly. Hey, who's the kid? Krillin asked playfully. You trying to earn some extra cash babysitting or something? He's my son, past Goku laughed. Your son? Krillin gasped. Pretty wild, huh? Wow. Oh, Goku, he's adorable, Bulma smiled. Suddenly, past Goku froze. What is it? What's wrong, Goku? Krillin asked. But past Goku felt them before he even saw them. What is going on? Past Goku panicked internally. Am I seeing things? Who are these guys? And that power? Their powers are unreal. It feels like my insides are being crushed. Master Roshi and Krillin were paralyzed, barely able to hear their own thoughts over the oppressive pressure. Bulma, of course, couldn't sense ki, but she was startled for two entirely different reasons. 4 massive, mysterious men had just appeared out of thin air on the island. And one of them looked exactly like Goku. Past Goku stared in horror. I see it, but I don't believe it. Where did these people come from? Their powers are absolutely terrifying. I don't think I'll ever stop shaking just knowing that people this strong exist. The guy with the long spiky hair. His power is so dark and sinister, it makes my stomach crawl. And I'm practically being crushed to death by the big guy's power alone. He's way stronger. I can't even feel my legs while he's just standing there. Then there are the other two. I can tell they're heavily suppressing their energy, but they're still massively strong. But the biggest question I should be asking myself right now is, why is there another Emi in that group? What the hell is he? A 4-year-old Gohan hid behind his father's leg, doing a double take. Running purely on instinct, past Goku dropped into a defensive fighting stance as his older self slowly approached. But the closer future Goku got, the more strangely at ease past Goku felt. This is so bizarre, past Goku thought. I should be scared out of my mind right now. I should be freaking out. But at the same time, there's something incredibly comforting about him. I can sense his gentleness. This can't be real. Meanwhile, future Goku stopped just a few inches away from his younger self, leaning in to get a closer look. It was like staring into a mirror. Whoa, future Goku chuckled. I guess Vegeta was right. Saiyans really don't start aging until we hit 80 or something. I looked exactly the same 20 years ago. Past Goku blinked in utter confusion. Huh? Saiyans? What's that? Who are you? And why do you look exactly like me? Past Goku didn't realize it at the time, but the answer to that very question would end up changing the entire trajectory of his future forever. for better and for worse. So in this episode, we saw Gogeta and Broly fighting so hard that they ended up entering a completely different dimension. After reaching there, Broly gets knocked unconscious, and right at that moment, Raditz suddenly appears in front of Gogeta. After talking for a while, Goku and Vegeta separate from Gogeta, which leaves Raditz completely shocked. Then, while Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz are still talking, Broly finally wakes up. But things get even crazier when all four of them travel back to the past, and everyone there is left stunned after seeing them together. So if you want to see what happens next, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell icon, and spam the comments with your theories. The next video is coming very soon. Until then, bye bye and peace out guys.